Cool. Hi, everyone. This is Ross here to help you with oGCDP year planning. Woo! So the purpose of this video is to help you guys allocate where your realizations go in your year plan. And so as you know, in oGCDP, we have peaks. We have fruit peak in the summer and then fish peak in the winter, because that's when most of our customers have free time. So I want to show you the real data that we have about these peaks. And so you can use that when you're doing your year planning. So first, I'll show you this right here. So this section of this document, you all received this document. It's called the Historical Realizations for the Past 5 Years, 2010 to 2015. What this shows is that in 1 year, where do most of the realizations happen? So at the bottom here, you could see I put 100, that's 100%. So every month has a percentage of how many realizations happen. So let's show some highlights. First, fruit peak. As you can see, June has 44% of all the realizations for oGCDP in 1 year. So that's it's summer for most people. But as you can see, May has 7% and July has 12%, because May and July are also summer because some schools end at different times. Most schools have summer starting in June. I know, for example, IPN, their summer starts in July, which is when most of their EPs realize. So your school and your campuses might have different times, but in general, all these 3 months have 64% of our results for the whole year. 64% realize in fruit peak. That is what it's called. The second peak we can see is fish peak. So 16% in 1 year realize in December. And then 3% in January. For some people, January is a vacation as well. So the fish peak makes up 19% of all of our results for the year. And in the different months in the year, I named them off-peak. So you could see off-peak 1 is February, March, April. This is because school happens at this time. So most people are not free. However, there are many, many students who are free, graduated students, who we can find. The second off-peak here, I put as August, September, October, November. There is also school happening. And so this only is 11% of our results for the whole year. It's very small. And that's something we can focus on as well. So what does this mean? As you could see, it means most of our results in the country and for your LC happen in fruit peak. Now, how can we be more smart and maybe not just rely on fruit peak, but explotar the other peaks? So this is why I want to propose a plan here. So if you go here, I put something called suggested planning numbers for 2016. And here I suggest numbers that you should use for planning into 4 sections. First, the first sections are off-peak 1 and 2. So historically, they've been here 6% and 11%. What I want you guys to plan is 12.5% of your plan happens in those off-peak periods, off-peak 1 and off-peak 2. And why is this? Because if we target graduating students, it's a huge market that we have not focused on. And I know many LCs right now, for example, IPN and Sinaloa, they have had big off-peak periods because of finding graduated students, because those students have free time. So I really encourage you guys to focus on off-peak, because if you get off-peak and realize people in March and April or September, October, this means that you are closer to your goal and you do not have to worry as much about fruit peak and fish peak. Now, the second thing I put here, I put fruit peak to be planned for 50% of your results, 50. Why is this? Because obviously it is most of your results, but historically it is 64%. But I want us to plan for only 50%, so then we can focus on the other parts of the year. That way it's less stress. It's less stress for your EP managers. Even though your fruit peak is still big, you don't have to worry about getting all of your results in June, because having all your results in 1 month could give you many, many problems. For example, if you have 50 EPs all realizing in June, you're going to have maybe 50 problems happening at the same time. That's why we want to move to off-peak. And the second thing is fish peak. So fish peak is only 19%. I would like everyone to plan for 25% of their whole year happening for fish peak. Why? Because Fish Peak is another thing that we have not focused on. And if we focus more and we target the correct schools that have a proper vacation, we can have even more results. So that's it for this video here. This is to help you to allocate your realizations in 1 year. And you can see if you, for example, your year plan is 100 realizations, where do you put those in which month? Because that's an important part of your planning tool. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And bye, guys. See you later.